Are we live? Are we live yet? Hold on, I'm just gonna make sure everything is streaming live here. Okay, we are live for the first time. This is actually my first Facebook Live ever. So we are streaming on Facebook as well as YouTube. So thanks for tuning in today. And if you're watching the recording, thanks for watching the recording. So the purpose of today's live video casts on Facebook and YouTube is to go over some of the new features in Divi Overlays 1.1. So if you're not familiar, Divi Overlays is a plugin that we launched here at Divi Life in February. So it was about mid-February. And the plugin Divi Overlays allows you to create beautiful full screen overlays using the Divi Builder. You could call them full screen pop-ups if you'd like. And so the benefit of it is you get to create these beautiful pop-ups or overlays using the builder that you're already familiar with, which is the Divi Builder. And then you can trigger the overlays using anything on your page. So you could trigger them with buttons, you can trigger them with links, with images, with modules, etc. And so we launched Divi Overlays with a lot of great features, and then since then we've pushed 5 updates, the last one being version 1.1. So we started 1.0, 0.1, etc. And then we launched 1.1 with some really great features. So the first few updates of Divi Overlays were bug fixes, fixing plugin conflicts with other popular plugins. And then we're now on to features. Of course, we're still fixing bugs and so forth, anything that comes up, but we're now on to adding new features, a lot of features that were requested by customers, which is really exciting. And so I'm going to go over some of those features here today in Divi Overlays 1.1, and I'm going to share my screen here. And so, by the way, the landing pages that you're going to see here in the demo are from Aspen Grove Studios. And you can actually get these same landing page layouts. Just go to aspengrovestudios.com, and they have a blog post talking about Caldera forms, and so you can get them there. And I'll try to post a link in the comments as well. So completely free. All you have to do is subscribe, and you get all these great looking landing pages. And so in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and let's see, you should already be seeing my screen here. Bear with me, this is our first Facebook and YouTube live, so if things are a little bit messy and not as smooth, you know why. So the first feature I want to go over with Divi Overlays 1.1 is new close features. So with the launch of Divi Overlays, the only way to close an overlay is by clicking this button, right, the X, and that's the only way to close it. And so we had a lot of people requesting to close it with the escape key. So you can't obviously see me pressing the escape key. Actually, I guess you can because I have the thing. So I'm going to press the escape key, and you're going to see the overlay close. So that is one of the new features in Divi Overlays 1.1 is closing the overlay with the escape key. And another one is another way to close the overlay, and I'm actually going to go to a different landing page here. And again, this is from Aspen Grove Studios, and I'll try to post a link in the comments. So the next way to close an overlay is by clicking the background. And so you can see here on my screen, I'm going to go ahead and just click the background here, and you'll see the overlay disappear. And so these are our UI user experience enhancements to Divi Overlays. When you're creating a website and you're creating overlays for the users to interact with, you want them to be able to get back to the site as easily as possible. And while the buttons are fairly easy to see, they're nice and big in the right-hand corner, users, for whatever reason, still can find a way not to see those close buttons. And so now, along with the escape key, you can also click the background of the overlay, and that will close the overlay as well. And so the next way that you can close the overlay is with by adding class equals close-divi-overlay to a link. So for example, I'm going to close this so you can see the context here. I'm going to go and download the bundle. What's this? Oh, okay. give my email. Okay, for whatever reason the user decides that they don't want to download the bundle or whatever it is you're offering, well, rather than going up to the X, you can also have them click something like this. And you see this a lot in marketing materials with the cancel button or the whatever it is that they don't want. No thanks, I don't want this awesome bundle, or no thanks, I don't want free traffic, or whatever it may be. So no thanks, I don't want this awesome bundle. You click it, it closes. And so I'm going to show you the back end of what that actually looks like here. I'm going to drag my window in here. And so this is just a local development site here, but let's see, I'm going to go to, this is the first one here. And you'll see this is the overlay edit screen. And you can see here I have a text module, and inside the text module I have some text, right? So you have to switch over to the text tab of the visual editor in order to be able to add classes to a link. And so you can see here I've added class equals close-divi-overlay. I've added that to the link, and so that makes it so the overlay will close when you click that link. So pretty cool. So you could do things, you could hide the main button and only have a button or only have the close functionality in a link or something special that you set up, so you have that ability. So that's pretty cool. So that is the new ways to close an overlay, some UI enhancements, user experience for your users. So again, you can now close the overlay with the escape key. So let's see, you can get that in view here, press the escape key. You can now close the overlay by clicking the background. I'm gonna go to this one because this one actually has the background here. And then lastly, you can close the overlay by clicking a link or some text or something that has the class, or a button has the class added to it, close-divi-overlay, and that will close the Divi overlay for you. So in addition to the new ways to close overlays, we also have another feature that was highly requested, which is to prevent the background from scrolling. And so I'm going to open this landing page here, get free ebook, and you can see here as I scroll, there's nothing more in the overlay, it's only the subscribe form. And so as I'm scrolling, you can see the background scrolls behind it. And that seems to be pretty much default across the web with overlay and pop-ups and so forth to be able to scroll the background. But sometimes it's not the best user experience, especially on mobile. So when you have a mobile user that is opening up an overlay, and so say, for example, let's see here if I can show you. You can see here, they need to scroll down to get to the rest of the form. Well, what they don't realize is now they're at the bottom, they're probably still scrolling. They're scrolling the background without realizing it. And so when they go and they close the overlay, now they're on a different part of the page than maybe they realized. And so it could be a little bit disorienting for the user, especially on mobile. And so for that reason, we added let's go back here, the ability to prevent main page scrolling. And so it's as easy as checking a box here. You just check that box. I'm going to save it and go back to the page here. Let's go ahead and refresh it. And now, let's see, that's not working like it's supposed to. Let me refresh the page again. Of course, this happens when I'm live. Oh, no wonder. Okay, that's embarrassing. I made it to the wrong overlay. So I need to go back to here and actually change the setting on the overlay I was trying to demonstrate it on. So sorry about that. Okay, click the prevent main page scrolling, clicked update, and now I'm actually going to show you the overlay that I actually changed this time around. Okay, so I'm going to hit get free ebook, and you can see here, well, you can see I'm trying to scroll here and the page isn't scrolling. That's because it's been prevented from scrolling, and so it makes sure that the user stays right where they are on the page. So when they close the overlay, they'll remember where they are. This is also useful in addition to mobile, but if you have multiple overlays on one page, maybe you have different galleries and so forth, you want to make sure the user gets back to right where they were on the page so they know what button they click to open that, so they can move on to the next one and so forth. So a lot of different reasons, and again, this was highly requested by customers, and so now we've added it so you can't scroll the page anymore as long as you have that box checked. And make sure that you actually check the box on the overlay that you're trying to do that to, unlike what I just did a couple seconds ago. Okay, so the next feature I want to talk about is a feature we call URL triggers. And so this again was a requested feature by at least a few customers. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like. Basically what it does is it allows you to open a overlay automatically with the URL. And so I'm just going to copy and paste that in, then we'll talk about it. So the page loads, and now you can see the overlay opens automatically. So I didn't have to click anything, it just opened automatically. And the way you do that is by adding # or hashtag, overlay dash, and then the ID of the overlay. And so you can see here, I'm going to go back to this test site. You can see this is the overlay ID is 2803. And so all I've done is added the hashtag or # overlay dash 2803. I'm gonna close it and then redo it so you can see. And so when the page loads, the overlay opens automatically. So for example, this could be great for social media. If you want to link people to your subscribe form or to download an ebook, for example, you want them to be able to get right to it without having to click anything additional, you can send them to this. They could fill out the form, close the overlay, etc. So it can be great for things like that. So again, just to review, the new features in Divi Overlays 1.1, 3 new ways to close overlays. So by pressing the escape key, clicking the background, adding class equals close-divi-overlay to any link. So you can basically create your own close button or close link. Also, you can prevent the background from scrolling so that it makes sure the user doesn't lose their place on the page. And then lastly, which is probably my favorite of these new features, is URL triggers. So now you can add hashtag or # overlay dash 2803 to the end of the URL. As long as the overlay is on that page already, you've added the content shortcode to the page, you can now automatically load the overlay after the page loads, which is pretty cool. So lots of functionality there. I'm gonna do my best to open up first live here. Let's see if I can see if there's any questions here. Boom. Francine, Corey, Nathan, hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the first ever Divi Live Facebook Live. Let's see if I can figure out how to get over to YouTube, see if there's any comments there. I don't see any. Okay, awesome. So a couple new features that'll be coming out in Divi Overlays 2.0. So we're really committed to making Divi Overlays a go-to plugin on any Divi site, for marketing things like this, for subscribe forms, etc., to adding additional galleries to your page, lots of reasons that you can use Divi Overlays. And so a lot of requested features that we've got are for automatic triggers. So other pop-up plugins out there allow, for example, Bloom has this where you can automatically have a overlay or pop-up open based on predefined criteria. So for example, a time delay. So when a user is reading a blog post and say they've been on your site for more than 30 seconds, you can pop open a overlay with a subscribe form or a video, whatever you'd like. And so Divi Overlays 2.0 are going to have automatic triggers. So we're going to launch with 3, and then we'll probably add more after that. So the first one being time delay. The second one being scroll percentage or scroll pixels. So for example, if they've scrolled a certain amount of percentage of the page, or they've scrolled a certain amount of pixels on the page, so you can choose which one you want to define, either pixels or percentage, then you can have the overlay open automatically. And then last but certainly not least, exit intent. Very excited about this one. So with exit intent, if a user looks like they're about to leave the page, so their mouse trajectory is going up towards the URL bar or the back button, you can trigger an overlay. So you see this a lot on popular websites, marketer websites, etc. As you're about to leave the page, it's like that. Wait. Open up the overlay, and they're going to show you, one last offer. Subscribe now and get 10% off, or etc. So exit intent, highly requested. A lot of powerful things that you can do with the exit intent, as well as the additional automatic triggers that we'll be adding to Divi Overlays 2.0, being time delay as well as scroll percentage or scroll pixels. So that is coming hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're finishing up those features, and then we'll begin testing and so forth. So really excited about that. I mentioned it at the beginning of this video cast, but the landing pages that you see in this video are from Aspen Grove Studios, a collaboration that they did with Caldera. So you can actually get these landing pages for free over at Aspen Grove Studios. So the ones you see here, plus a bunch of others, I think there's like 15 layouts total. So you can get them for free at aspengrovestudios.com. I'm gonna go ahead and post the link here, Aspen Grove Studios. So all you have to do is subscribe, and you can get all 15 layouts 100% for free. So here is the link here. I believe this is the link. Corey Jenkins, if you're still watching this, maybe you can point me to the right link. Okay, here we go. So here's the blog post. I'm gonna go ahead and post that there. Get the layouts shown in this video here. So Aspen Grove Studios / the top contact form plugin for WordPress. You can get all these layouts that I'm using here in this demo. So that is it for this live Facebook and YouTube video cast. I'll go ahead and add that link to the YouTube link as well in case you're watching over there. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment on the Facebook Live or on YouTube, or you can send an email to tim@divilife.com with any questions. Lots of great features in Divi Overlays 1.1, and lots more coming in Divi Overlays 2.0. Okay, looks like Corey added the additional link, probably the correct one, to the Facebook. Alrighty, that is it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up for the first ever Divi Life Facebook and YouTube Live. So let's see if I can figure out how to turn this off. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody.